Alright, so you almost got everything right. There's just one sticker was tore, but that's all I need. Christmas time, it was a nightmare. They need to put it on each bag so it can be scanned out properly. I'll tell you why, reason why later. Shauna is in the red. Shauna is in the red. Okay, so I asked if they can meet me outside. It is an apartment for the first Tom Thumb delivery. We're looking at 4.5. 4.5. Somewhere out there. I told her ETA is 8:36. Goodbye, Navy. All right, so 8:36 for the ETA. Trying to find the right one. It's hard to find that at times. It would go like this.
Say a few words. Well, let's hope that we're...
All right, we'll see what we got. We probably got copyright. Yeah, we got copyrighted by Apple CarPlay because they own the music, or they used to. Now it's the other company that owns it. Secretly, it's owned by Google. Apple is, because if they can't use a search engine, they can't do anything. Not really, and they have businesses that run off search engines. A lot of them. This one will go about 4.1 from here. From Tom Thumb, it was probably about 4.5. I'm going into what I call my Eugene Levy voice. Tom Thumb. I like Mick and Mitchie. I like Mick and Mitchie. All right, I got in touch with them, and I gave them a thumbs up for meeting me. That's probably FBI right there. And I got them thumbs up on meeting me. Because it looks like them from tinted windows. We got a stuck screen right here. So it's stuck. I gotta switch over. Then we gotta go to mapping. And then we gotta use the force. Okay, guys. If the barcode does not scan, you don't even really need to manually put it in. You just make a note that the barcode would not scan. Tom Thumb's the worst when it comes. It's like a nightmare. So if the barcode, you got to scan them out and scan them in. You have to scan them in and scan them out. But if the barcode does not scan, just put down that it would not scan. So let Mario know at Tom Thumb, each bag has to have a sticker on it. Because I've worked with Rhodey. If they don't do that, then it shows discrepancy and shows theft, internal theft. So you have to put a sticker on each bag, the appropriate bag. That's why they have several stickers. They go on each bag. He did a clump of stickers. So I asked him if he didn't mind if I put the sticker on the other bags. He said he didn't mind that. His name is Mario, so he works there. He works there. So he's a pretty nice guy, even though I was trying to get everything scanned in properly. That's where KISS played, as in K-I-S-S. Gene Simmons, he played there not too long ago on their last tour.
I've come to look for America.
Alright, so Apple CarPlay does have copyright issues. Or they, no, they may not. They do whenever they want to. It's like random. But they have before.
Toss me a cigarette, I think there's one in my raincoat. We smoked the last one an hour ago. So I looked at the scenery. She read her magazine, and the moon rose over an open field. Kathy, I'm lost, I said, though I knew she was sleeping. I'm in seeing I'm a king and I don't know why. Counting the cars on the New Jersey Turnpike, they've all come to look for America. All come to look for America. All come.
All right, we are to park in one of the 3 spots, which is right there. Yeah. Okay. And that doesn't really work. But maybe I can make a 4th spot like Mitch and Mickey. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to make a call. And they're not going to like this. So we're going to have to improv. This is improvisation. I'm floating, Mitch and Mickey. Okay, hang on. Let me just stop here and we'll just say this is right to do. All right, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna wait, and that should be correct. Okay. Yep. Still doesn't look right though. So I'll have to find out what's going on. This is like a big issue right now, probably with Kia. And we're trying to find out the mapping. Audi may have figured it out, but mapping wise, they don't have it together. So we're gonna switch over to Google. Okay, we're already there with Google. We pushed it in. And we can kind of see that it's pushed in the USB. And we're going to go to media. Go to media again. And go to media one more time. Go to radio. Go to radio one more time. And go back to media. And we got a problem. All right. Still relatively cool, but not really. I don't know if you can read that. It says Mickey. Now go to map. Nothing. We got something. Now go this way. Let's go back to media. Now go back to radio and back to media.
We're turning blue till the morning sun broke my window and rose to my rescue. A bad dream. I'm wondering, is the doorway to yesterday's secrets? Well, let me give you the woman's perspective. Ever since I was a little girl, bad dream. I'm wondering, where is the shelter for runaway angels?
All right. Oh, big and heavy. Big and heavy with lots of wine. Oh dear. Mitch and Mickey style. And you can just imagine me unpacking. All right, we got it. Alrighty. Quiet as can be. All quiet on the western front. So they do have to sign for it. Make sure they sign for it. I don't know if you can say refuse to sign, but you can put their name in there. And if they refuse to sign, I don't know if it gives you an option. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm blank on that one. She was able to initial it, so. So the reason why they signed for it is because it has alcohol. So they have to sign for the alcohol. The other ones, you can just drop it off. But the other one, with the groceries with alcohol, they have to sign for it. As a screenwriter, and they're like, we can't cast you in the movie, Cole, but we like the script. What you say? I play Rocky, and then hang up on them. You want to go in as an actor, you make more money that way in the long run. Screenwriters are in and out. They kick them out as fast as they bring them in. If you get a script that they want, hang up on them and just say, I play Rocky, and hang up. They might know what you're talking about. Or you can just say Sylvester Stallone and hang up. Or you can say Rocky Balboa and hang up. You want to make sure they know that you play Rocky. So they'll give it to you eventually. It's 2.3. It's way over here. It's called Potbellies, right by TCU. We'll try to push it in. Nothing. Oh, we got something. All right. Then we got this, and we got that. Got it. For right now, it only intermittently works. I don't like that word intermittent. So when I enter in heaven, I want God to say, Cole, no more intermittence. I'll say, thank you, Lord, you knew what I was talking about. Everything in heaven always works. Everything on earth always breaks. Everything's broken on earth. It just looks like it works. So he'd say, Cole, no more intermittence. Come on in. I'd say, hey, thank you, Mel. I don't know if he played him or not. I can't think if he did. But I know George Burns played him. But Mel has a shot. He's 100 years old. He could play God. It would be very rusty and very gross. But George Burns was ancient when he played, oh God, you devil. Oh, I know. It's because I went to Lollapalooza. Asshole. Probably FBI. The amount of drugs that we did at Lollapalooza and the burning plastic that we had to breathe in when they made bonfires out of plastic during the Jane's Addiction 3 Days song, we went to the original one, was probably enough drugs to kill a small rabbit. It was mostly LSD, but we did a lot. We were seeing tracers when people were walking around. We could see tracers of their soul. And then, like, you know, Jane's Addiction was playing, you know, and it was like, it looked like a bonfire from hell. And then these guys walked out on stilts. I don't even know if they really did that, but it looked like it. It looked like a Pink Floyd The Wall concert. That's what I want to listen to in a minute. Yeah, Mel Brooks plays God in a movie called God. It could be a play by Woody Allen. They could put it in a script, but it'd probably kill him. We're going to Potbellies, and we're going to try to push in. Ooh, look at that. Google, doing better. I would use Apple, but I haven't gone to my bat mitzvah yet. Is it bar mitzvah? Bar mitzvah, sorry. Bat mitzvah's for a girl, bar mitzvah's for a guy. I have been to a bar mitzvah before. I've been to a bat mitzvah too, but it was for a Messianic Jew. Those are the ones that believe in Jesus. The bar mitzvah I went to was a temple, and they didn't even give me a funny hat. They just knew I was a Christian. And I was hanging out with other ones that didn't have funny hats either. And one of them's not around anymore. He was a Marine. But I went to that bar mitzvah. It's Jason's bar mitzvah. They called him a criminal because he stole a truck. It was his parents' truck, but they still called him a criminal. And then Foster was the good cop, bad cop routine. They were all Army. He was Marine though when he grew up. We got pawned. I think the reason we got pawned off to the Jews when I was younger was because my dad was in jewelry. We were Christian though, but we went to a few temple things. I did by myself with Foster and his brother, and it was like a Jewish temple in Dallas. Pot belly. Like I said, we got sound. Can you imagine them doing this in the 60s with all the hippies and stuff? Imagine it. You don't want to. There'll be a lot of dead hippies on the road. So a guy in there is studying theology. He's studying he's going to be a Baptist minister. So I told him about the New Liberty Party and that he's not going to have to turn in anything to the government when it comes to his speeches. They have to do that. They won't have to anymore. It could be wrong, but I think some churches have to turn in their sermons to the government. The one in Irving, the MacArthur Boulevard Baptist, I heard that they had to. But I don't know for sure. It could be because certain people go there that have weapons. They have to turn it in. So the sermons are monitored. Now, not all churches, they have to do that, but some are. I told them that all churches will be private and they won't be spied upon by the government. Got it. Any big-time government official will say to me, Cole, you're an effing nut, and I hope you don't get killed. I'd say back to them, God bless the New Liberty Party. Faith, hope, love, and charity. There's a difference between love and charity, asshole. Click. 2-minute leeway. I have a 2-minute leeway. This will be the last one for tonight. God bless the New Liberty Party. We believe in faith, hope, love, and charity. We got to this country with faith. Eventually, over time, in a flash, we started dealing with hope. We're going to move into a loving country like all the hippies wanted. When we deal with that love, we're going to move into charity. We're going to be a charitable nation. That is what it is. We have a dove wing symbol. It's a secret symbol. So people in the New Liberty Party, they can wave at each other like this. Let's say if you're waving. Hi. Did you see that? It's a secret symbol. So they can be like, hey, what's going on? That way they know that they agree. Remember, Jesus said to bring fish. We're going to bring pigeon wings. But not literally. Don't bring real pigeon rings. That's satanic. Just know that this represents the pigeon ring. Let me see. All right. We had a 2-minute leeway. After that little New Liberty Party speech at the stoplight, now we have a negative 1 minute leeway. So we're going to see what we can do. We don't want to kill another squirrel. Maybe she turned into a squirrel and I killed her. Jennifer and I, we had a mascot. It was a squirrel. It was a secret mascot. It was like a spirit animal that we shared called a squirrel. So she hasn't posted on Facebook since 2018. So if she turned into that squirrel, she probably ran under my tire because she turned back. So she turned into a squirrel. Now she probably turned into a cat. So hopefully she's a kitty cat. Just like that. A little spy. So I think it said to the left, right? Yeah, I think I meant this way. Ooh. That was a bone constrictor. Big old snake in the middle of the road. Killed it. I don't mind killing snakes. I just don't want to kill any squirrels. And I know that squirrel died, and I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel really bad about that squirrel. We got one. He's okay, but he's going slow. He's taking his time. They predict these cars. So when you go over, the speed limit a little bit, then their prediction loses. I was going probably maybe 5 miles over the speed limit when I hit that squirrel. So he times it in their brain. They go by law. And then when you break it and you go a little bit faster, then those squirrels die. So you gotta be careful, or you kill a squirrel going too quick. Yeah, because then you have to kill it. Yeah, because it's running out. It goes out and then it comes back and boom. Yeah, they don't time it right. They're used to the same rhythm of the cars. When you go about 5 miles over, then you hit them that way. It's cats usually about the same because they can't predict it anymore. Okay, that gate, if that gate was open, we'd be in heaven. It's slightly open already. You can see it, but they keep it closed. So that's what I mean by intermittent. It could be open. These used to be tiny apartments that Victoria lived in. I used to date her when I did The Marriage of Bet and Boo at the Sage and Silo Theater, and I played Boo. She played one of the sisters in that. It's a Christopher Durang play when I was acting back in the day in theater. But we just entered heaven. These are the new they're the new apartments that they used to be with Victoria. Actors and stuff live in here. I'm going to write a play called The Aardvark. It's about a photographer that ends up going to Jordan, as in by Israel. And then also, she's also Islamic. And then Victoria, who's an actress who becomes a lesbian in Dallas. It's the days when they were almost in their 20s. And they were doing community theater. And one of them was in Denton as a photographer. It's a play called The Aardvark. It's 3 characters. Whenever I get real stable, I'm going to write that play. It's a romance comedy about 3 different types. And one of the lines in it is, it really hurts to get effed up the butt. Okay. Weird address. It's going to be on the 3rd floor. Yeah, big and fat like Theodore Roosevelt. And these are crazy. This is coming from a pastor at Potbelly's. Okay. Look at that kitty cat. Huh. It's a stray cat. It's marked as territory. They eat rats. When I talked to the minister at Potbelly's, he said that he didn't know that they monitored their speeches, or they have to turn in their speeches. He doesn't have a church yet, so he doesn't know that. So the government will monitor your speeches as a pastor in a church. That's what I've been told. I don't know if it happened, but MacArthur Boulevard Baptist said that they did that. So it was someone that said that. I'm not for sure. So what it is that it has to be registered, or it has to be sent out to the government. It's like printed or something, but it's sent to the government to be monitored. So they monitor churches. That includes all different types of churches. So if the pastor gets up there and he starts talking like Nazi regime stuff, then they can get in trouble. Or if they go up in front of the congregation and start using racial slurs, they can get in trouble. They can do it, but they can get in trouble. It's very rare that it happens. They don't like it. So the government can get involved and they can be sued in court. A church could be sued. Did you know that, guys? You can sue a church. Like if you feel a church treated you like a bigot or bigotly, like let's say if you're transgender and you go to a church, a Baptist church, and they don't allow you in, you can actually sue the church. Let's say if you go to a church that makes wedding cakes, some of them do, and they refuse to help you and because you're different. Let's say if you're deformed and they refuse to do your wedding cake, then you could sue them in court. Let's say if a church kicks you out because of your deformity, you can sue the high pastor for millions and they wouldn't be able to operate anymore. But you'd have to face God. You just say, God, I need this money. I had to sue this person because he was hurting my family and he didn't like the fact that I was deformed. And he kicked me out of the church. His name is Josh Smith. He's a pastor in Georgia, right underneath Bogart, Georgia, in a place not too far from where Alex Kendrick is from. That's, something like that. It starts with a sh. But it's a church in Georgia. Share something. I'll look it up. Okay, so I was kicked out of a Baptist church because of my deformity. The minister that kicked me out's name was Josh Smith. He has to turn in all of his speeches to the government. He moved to Georgia and goes to a church south of Sherwood Church, which is a Baptist church near Bogart. Well, I think he's in Bogart. So, and they think they can kick you out of church because you're deformed. If you're a transgender and they deny you membership, then you can go and get a lawyer and sue them for all their money, and they won't be able to be a minister again. Now, let's say if you're a gay couple and you want a wedding cake, and the church does wedding cakes, because some churches do. Then if they refuse to do your wedding cake, then because you want a same-sex wedding cake, then you can go to get a lawyer and you could sue them for all their money and prevent them from being a minister. Also, any Baptist congregation can refuse to let you in if you're wearing a ball cap. So whenever I go in front of Sherwood to speak, I'll be wearing a ball cap. And when I meet Alex Kendrick, I'm going to go like this. Nice to meet you, Alex Kendrick. Then I'm going to shake his hand like this. I'll do it with my right hand. Like that. I have my thumb in like that when I shake him. They owe me a lot of money. Listen, I don't plan to harm any Baptist, but I am going to take their money. Now, the Baptists have quite a bit of money, and they have about as much as the Catholic. So the guy that I was talking to is probably like a high priest kind of guy. He's at Potbelly. But here's the difference between a Catholic leader or a priest, one of those guys, which are high up, or let's say a Baptist deacon or someone in the Baptist church, like a minister. There's really no difference, but there is one difference. The priest take confession. That's a major difference between the Baptist and the Catholic. So if you go to a Catholic church, most of them, you can go into a little box, so like a confessional box, and you can talk to a Catholic priest about your sins. Martin Luther did it up to almost the point of his death. He had his own priest that he would go into a room and talk to the priest and say, this is what I did that was wrong. I need forgiveness. And the priest guides them through certain prayers and says, okay, say 5 Hail Marys and blah, blah, blah. And then you say those and the sins are kind of like dealt with in a way. The Baptists don't do that, but they have deacons and they do tell people to confess to their brothers and sisters, to confess to someone, to confess your sins, to bring the sin into the church to be dealt with. They can also go in front of the church and discipline a certain member. They did that at my church at MacArthur Boulevard Baptist when one of the spiritual leaders slept with a guy's wife and got her pregnant against the will of the church. And then they had to go before the church and explain to everybody why this happened in a letter that was written to the minister, which is J. Josh Smith, who he should not have done this, but he read the letter. I wasn't there, but he read it to the congregation. I was at work. Our bank was open on Sundays. It's no longer open on Sundays now. We had a bank that was open on Sundays inside Walmart's and Kroger's. That letter was read before the congregation that so-and-so, his name was Tim, slept with so-and-so, this lady that we lived in her home after they went to Alaska. So they lived there. They were from Alaska and they moved into West Rochelle. That's probably what Rib is addressing, some of the Alaska stuff. They went all the way back to Alaska after the affair happened with the wife being pregnant by one of the musical spiritual leaders. He was one of the spirit leaders. So it means he played music. He was basically in charge of the choir. He was a choir leader, and he played piano really well. So he slept with another guy's wife, got her pregnant. Then what they did was then they took that baby and they went all the way back to Alaska and left. But before they did that, the wife wrote a letter to the minister, which is Josh. He read it before the congregation. And the letter was confessing the sin of having sex with the choir leader, Tim, who they excommunicated. I told all the people in the circle when we went to a meeting at Arlen, who used to be Catholic, His name was, I'm not Arlen. Arlen was the landlord. I'm sorry, Art Bunton. He was the Catholic guy that became one of the deacons or one of the high ups in the Baptist church. He's a pretty cool guy. He also has a handgun, but he has a lot of money. He was out in Irving. So when I sat in the circle, when we were all talking about what happened, I said, you cannot excommunicate anyone from a Baptist church. But they disagreed with me. I felt Tim should have stayed there so we could properly deal with the sin. And plus, Tim was a cool guy. Shook his hand. He was a nice guy. He wanted to have a baby, and this could have all been rumor, and he had a baby with someone else's wife. I thought he should stay in the church, but they excommunicated him. They kicked him out of the church. And then Ricky said, well, he could just go to another church and do all this again. We don't know what happened to Tim. But what I think happened is they went back. The original family, or the original one, went back to Alaska to basically have this other guy's baby. And I guess adopt him into their family. And then I don't know if they allowed or if they sued him for child support. I don't know what they did with Tim. I'm sure they didn't, because Tim was like a minister. He's like a spiritual leader, is just like a minister. So I don't know what happened. I think it would make a good script, and I wish Alex Kendrick would come talk to me, because I write screenplays. I also wrote a script called, it was called Sparkplug. That's what Angel likes, the title. That's my ex-wife. But it was also called a Flexplate. Now, he wrote one called Flywheel. So Flexplate and a Sparkplug is what I called it, is kind of a version of Flywheel. But it's only set in Irving, dealing with the Indian people that's there, Nepal. They're like from Nepal, they're from India. And it's dealing with them, dealing with the Baptist church. Just like he was dealing with the Baptist church being a car salesman. This deals with a car salesman, who I turned down Kia. And this deals with a car salesman who's pre-owned cars, but he does it in Irving. And he's from like, I don't know, he's from like India. So I wanted to bring in an actress that I know from New York that worked with Brad Pitt and George Clooney on Wolves. Her name is Poorna Jagannath. I got in trouble for a lot of things at MacArthur, but one of the things was movies that I would watch, bad ones. They didn't like that, so they kicked me out, and because of my deformity. But if Alex Kendrick wants to look at my script, I can email it to him. Actually, will do that tonight. I'll email it to Sherwood. It's called a Sparkplug and a Flexplate. I rewrote it, and it doesn't have an ending yet. But we could rewrite the ending together, and we could work on it, and we could go forward. I asked another member of a church, Richard Massey, he didn't respond. So I'm sure they won't either. But listen, those guys are on the borderline of getting sued, just like Apple. They don't know yet. I'm going to see what happened. So just give me a second. I got eyes on it. If it was done by a cop, he could go to prison. So just give me a second. Because sometimes they do that as a message. It's right there. I'm going to try to get it from the original spot. Because sometimes they hit them on purpose. They don't mean to, but they also kill deer on the side of the highway too with a Glock. Sometimes they'll just go up and shoot a deer. It's a pet. Somebody's pet was murdered. We'll find out who did it, because there's ADT cameras, and see what happened and why it was killed exactly. If it was a pet, then they can press charges and they can take them to court. Once I take their USD, then we're going to give them karma points. So every time they do a good deed, then they'll get plenty of stuff to buy at their Walmarts, and they have shelter and all that stuff. And some of them even will even move up. Because of their karma points, they'll move up very high and be able to get a big house, because karma points will pay up. That'll be different than USD. It'll be spent a different way on different supplies. You won't be able to buy drugs with karma points, so stop doing drugs. And that goes for anyone in my family. Even aspirin. Okay? I'll let you take aspirin, but the right way. Now, here's the thing. Everything can be abused. Even karma points can be. But karma points are important because It'll be a new form of currency that will reveal the heart of the person. So if you're a really good person, you rake a lot of leaves and stuff like that, you'll be able to go out and get your own car. You'll be able to go out and help people. It's different things that you can do. You can just go and talk to someone about something good. That will count as karma points, as long as it's good energy that's out there and it's good karma. And that will be shared with the Baptists, because by the time I'm in office, they're not going to have a single penny. And neither will the Catholic. The USD will still be there, but eventually it'll be switched over and it'll be new Liberty points. Hang on, kitty. Are you over there? You've got a friend. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, how y'all doing? Do y'all see a cat down there? Down at the bottom? He's not around? Okay. He hides. Yeah, I know. He's kind of crazy. Okay. I'll look for him later. Okay. Well, she ran off because of a dog, so sorry. I'll try to get her some later. All right, come on. Hit your cue. There we go. Here we go with today's kitty. There is one kitty, 9 cat lives, and each cat life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food and pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having Fancy Feast Gravy Lovers, Ocean Whitefish, and Tuna Feast and gravy. Nothing like this, baby. It's heaven. Here we go. And they're actually in heaven or hell. You can't really tell. They're in both, pretty much. Just like Earth. Heaven or hell, very quickly. Gotta show it all, kitty. This cat's a goat. Greatest of all time. You are the bee's knees, kitty. Okay. What's going on with the steak knives? We'll find out. A cat can't do that. Oh, sir, a cat can't. Probably the CIA did it. Now, let's go right here. We got 1 and 2. What will tomorrow's kitty be? So I asked the strange woman in my house what happened with the steak knives. She said the cat's dying. If you're not busy being born, you're busy dying. Does that look like the cat's dying? Kitty, did you try to get the steak knife? It's a defensive weapon. Yes, it is. That's sometimes people's only resort. You want to use this one. You hold it like this. But you don't hold it that direction. You hold it this direction. Because if you hold it this direction, then that's really bad. If you hold it this direction that you can feel, then you're CIA. About like that. You don't want to hold it like that. So when you have it like this. I'll show you.